You don't need to go to Niagara Falls when you can eat some Brian balls.
What is up, Diecast collectors? This is OBB, the Diecast news guy, and welcome to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Diecast news. And it's going to be, our bi-weekly episode of the NASCAR Diecast news as we got things back on schedule. And by the time I'm uploading this, we are probably already en route to finding out who is going to be our Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion. As you can tell, even though my hat is outdated and by the shirt I'm wearing, hoping it's going to be my boy Truex, because you can tell probably by my background and my room. By the way, I'm in a different camera angle as well. I decided to do this camera angle a lot more so you guys can see more of my wonderful collection. And that way you guys don't see any bright lights in the background so I don't blind you guys, because, I'm trying to get better with the lighting situation with these videos. But yeah, we got ourselves a lot of cool diecast news to be talking about in these last few weeks for the diecast news, unlike the 2 months that we did on the last episode. So like I said before, I do apologize for no commentaries on that, but there was a lot of stuff to to cover. But I'm back in the catch-up game, and I can't wait to share my thoughts and opinions of the newly released diecast that we got in stock from our good friends at Plan B Sales. Lots of cool-looking ones. We got ourselves a lot of cool-looking 124s as well, including some that I am planning to review on this channel very soon, but I will give my rough thoughts on those very soon. And we got ourselves a lot of pre-orders that we are going to be going through like crazy. So hope you guys, got some caffeine with you guys, because it's going to be really quick on the pre-orders. And with every pre-order that we do got the cancellations as well, guys. And some of them might even include this guy right here, just for a hint on the guys who could be canceled. So, but boy, that'd be ironic if Denny Hamlin ends up winning the championship, and we'll just have to see. But anyways, guys, hope you guys are going to be joining this new episode of the NASCAR Diecast News, as now I'm going to shut up, and let's go ahead and kick off this new episode of the NASCAR Diecast News for this episode. Alrighty guys, welcome to the Diecast News. This is OBB, the Diecast News guy, and let's go ahead and get things started with your newly released diecast from our good friends at Plan B Sales and our favorite Lionel Racing. So we're going to go ahead in numerical order like we always do, and the first card to talk about, it's actually an ARCA diecast. It is Ed Pampas, if I'm saying that correctly, his #1 Clemson University National Champion Chevrolet SS. So this is a card that, you know, I'm guessing it got made because of probably the team and the driver requesting the MOQ amount for this car. So probably that's the main reason why this car actually made it. So, you know, it's a relatively different car. I mean, I don't think we ever had any ARCA diecasts ever released for this year, so that's really cool. Would be a great addition to go along with the other ARCA diecasts that we got released from last year with the Hunter and the Decker diecast. So really nice looking right there, guys. But keep in mind with ARCA, because we will be talking about your champion in the pre-orders with Christian X, so be on the lookout for that when we get to the pre-order section. But really nice looking car, guys. We also going to be getting the 124 version of this car very soon. But yeah, really nice. I mean, if you're a big fan of this driver in the ARCA series, really cool to have a diecast for him. And cool to have the Chevrolet SS mold make a return as well. So that is really cool that Lionel decided to do that. Plus the box. I mean, it does have a cool special box as well. So definitely can't go wrong with that. But, you know, a great addition to go along with the ARCA collection, that's for certain. Alright, and now let's get on to some NASCAR diecast. So, even though ARCA is considered NASCAR, but you know what I mean. Alright, we got Michael Onnett's #1 Baby Ruth Chevrolet Camaro for JR Motorsports. So, this is a really cool looking car, especially if you guys are a big fan of, you know, when Jeff Gordon drove the Baby Ruth car. So, this one right here in particular is going to bring back a lot of great memories. Of course, the good old man, Michael Onnett. I mean, this has been a great year for Michael Onnett diecast, guys. His TMC car also got released, and then we're also going to begin his Daytona win as well in NASCAR Authentics for the Wave 8. So, but this one right here is another great item right here. We usually don't get that much Daunted Throwback schemes for the Xfinity diecast. I wouldn't be surprised if they squeeze this in for NASCAR Authentics, because they have made some throwback Xfinity diecasts before, like Ryan Reed and Bubba Wallace. God, that's pretty old to say now since Roush is no longer in the Xfinity series. But, yeah, this is a really solid, a really basic car. But, you know, like I said, if you're a big fan of the Jeff Gordon Baby Ruth card, then this right here is no exception. Alright, next up, we got Chase Elliott's #9 Mountain Dew United States Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 for Hendrick Motorsports. This one right here is actually a very unique Mountain Dew card, because it is the first Mountain Dew card that we got that does not have a metallic finish on it, which, you know, a lot of people might get turned off by that, but I must say this solid lime green that we got going on right here, really am digging it. I mean, I thought the whole design with the whole United States, I mean, I know it's part of the design that they had when they had that promotion back in summertime, which, by the way, if you knew anybody who collected all 50 bottles and won that, then, hey, I guess that's pretty cool. Probably be a good diecast to get along with that. Totally forgot, like, what they win if they got all bottles. But yeah, really nice looking right here. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Mountain Dew colors. But this one right here I thought was really interesting, considering that it does not have a metallic green finish to it. But really nice looking car, guys. Next up, we got my boy Ryan Blaney and his Dent Wizard Ford Mustang for Team Penske. Of course, this is the car that he drove at Talladega and won in a spectacular photo finish. So, and what I saw so far on the diecast photos from all the Instagram accounts, which probably are all you guys who are watching this, so appreciate you guys' support of the diecast news. I mean, next season will be our 10th season, guys, which is absolutely phenomenal. I can't thank you guys enough for your guys' support, so you guys are awesome. But anyways, back to the Dent Wizard card, guys. I mean, I was not expecting to see this car. I was a little skeptical that this car wasn't going to look as good. Especially since it is another basic scallop scheme, but it does look relatively nice, and the white rims are a nice addition as well, and the colored spoiler as well. But probably is going to be a very popular diecast, considering I just mentioned that Ryan Blaney won in this car at Talladega, so really nice looking car. Plus, it'll be a cool car to get since this car does not have the green playoff marks. Next up, we got Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s #17 Fast and All Patriotic Ford Mustang. So if you guys have been big fans of the Fastenal Patriotic cars that, you know, Fastenal has ran throughout their last few years in NASCAR, this right here is another great exception, guys. I mean, we got a nice, unique design going on with classic red, white, and blue. Cannot go wrong with that, guys. I'm assuming he drove this around Memorial Day weekend or at the Daytona race. They usually run patriotic schemes in either of those races. Yeah, you know, this is really cool, and also really nice that they also have DeWalt on the hood of this car, which, by the way, I believe DeWalt is also going to be sponsoring Stenhouse at the Homestead race, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's a main sponsor or associate sponsor, but that is a really interesting aspect, considering DeWalt being back with the 17, but I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we got another patriotic car, which is Jeffrey Earnhardt's number 18 IK9, IK9.com Toyota Supra. So another Toyota Supra that we got for the Gold Series, which is really cool. I was skeptical that this was not going to make MOQ, but it did, and I must say, really nice looking patriotic car, guys. And I believe this is I believe that this car was dedicated to like an officer, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because, you know, IK9 works for the police and all. It's like a police sponsorship from what I know. So, or as far as I know. But I do like the stars as well that are on this. I mean, really does look very patriotic. I mean, that's one thing I do love about NASCAR. They really have the patriotic schemes are just phenomenal, guys. I mean, that's something to love about NASCAR. And this car right here is no exception, even though I rarely watch the Xfinity series. But man, if we can see a paint scheme, if we can see paint schemes more like that in the Xfinity series, heck, sign me up. Next up, we got a Don's Throwback car, which, by the way, this guy will be making his final Monster Energy Cup start. By the time I upload this video, it will probably be Sunday. It is Paul Menard's number 21 Ford Motorcraft Darlington Throwback, which is a throwback to the classic Glenwood. So this is a freaking phenomenal diecast, guys. Really cool that for once, we actually got a diecast dedicated to the owner, which one of the owners for the Wood Brothers racing team, Glenn Wood. So, man, this right here is just so vintage. I love it. I mean, even down to like the vintage basic design, and the Ford logos, and just the overall scheme and the colors just look really nice, and plus that font as well. And the name that's right above that, just really cool. I believe it does say Glenwood on there. If not, then it's probably Paul Menard's name. I'm just looking at small pictures, so I can't really tell. But there is a name there. So, man, what a phenomenal car, guys. I was really worried that this car got canceled, but it didn't in the 1/64 scale. So, phenomenal car. This car might look a little familiar, as this is the last car I'm going to be talking about in the 1/64 section. It is a car I just recently reviewed. If you guys didn't check it out on my last video. It is Jimmy Johnson's 2001 Lowe's Power Pride Chevrolet Camaro. Well, not Chevrolet Camaro. Oh my God, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. That was a fail right there. So, yeah, guys, this is freaking awesome. I mean, really cool to see. I believe this might be the first time that Lionel has released the Chevrolet Monte Carlo mold for the Classics line. And, you know, long story short, this is Jimmy Johnson's first Cup start, the first of many Power Pride cars that he has run in his career throughout his lifetime with the Lowe's sponsorship. It's a shame we do not have that Lowe's sponsorship anymore, but at least they went out with the bang for the paint schemes. Can't really say with the winnings, but you know, Jimmy Johnson, I'm hoping will accomplish and get a win very soon. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, man. I mean, everyone has their slumps, and unfortunately, it's been Jimmy Johnson lately. But this right here is gonna bring back a lot of great memories, because this is the one that started it all. So definitely recommend getting this. If you guys haven't got it already in NASCAR Authentics Wave 7, get it as you can. This is a phenomenal looking car, in my opinion. But that's going to wrap up on the 164s, and now let's get on to the 124s, the 124 exclusives. So all these cars I'm about to talk about are only available in the 124 version, as all the 164s were not offered or canceled. So like we do in the 164s, let's go in numerical order. And the first two are Brad Keselowski diecast, and the first one we're going to talk about is his Miller Lite Patriotic Ford Mustang. So this has been the same basic design that, you know, Miller Lite has used for their patriotic scheme in the last few years. So, I mean, nothing really too crazy to talk about, but the paint scheme, well, actually the mold is different, because, you know, it is on the Ford Mustang mold, but I would recommend getting this car because from what I know, I believe Miller Lite is not going to be a big main sponsor for next year, or I think they're dropping their sponsorship entirely next year. So, God, if you thought the low sponsorship was bad enough with Jimmy Johnson, heck, we're not going to see the Miller Lite sponsorship with Team Penske and the number 2 car, guys. So, there goes the deuce right there, am I right? I mean, it's already not a blue deuce car anymore, so yikes, that's just really bad. But, you know, you still can't go wrong with this, especially... This is a perfect diecast for the Keselowski fan because, you know, Keselowski loves to celebrate with the American flag, and I think it's pretty cool that they add American flag on his patriotic diecast. So, really nice looking car. But I think the one that's really going to catch a lot of people's eyes, it is his Kansas win, in the really cool looking Worth car, which, by the way, we will be getting that car also in Wave 8 of NASCAR Authentics. What a phenomenal looking paint scheme, guys. I mean, even though some people are going to say it's ruined by the confetti, but this car also has molded out damage just like the Truex Dover win and the Kyle Busch Bristol win. So definitely got to give mad props to Lionel for, you know, the quality of that. That's something that they do right with the 124s. Just wish they had metal chassis instead of plastic, but, you know, that's the market they're going for now, apparently. Well, they've had for 2 years now, but hey, I don't really collect 124, so I don't even care. But if you guys are a big fan of this car and this paint scheme, and more importantly, this driver, this is a cool-ass car, guys. I will admit it. Really nice looking. It does kind of have like a vintage vibe to it as well. Sorry about that. My phone was vibrating. I am quite the popular guy, if I do say so myself. All right, next up, that was so stupid to say, Brian. Next up, we got Austin Dillon's number 3 Dow Salutes to Veterans cars. So, I mean, this car usually doesn't really make MOQ sometimes, but the 124 version did got made, and, you know, I think I briefly said this when I was reviewing the pre-order of this, because he drove this car in Michigan, so that was all the way back in June when I talked about this car. But it's just me, or this car kind of reminds me of Dale Earnhardt's, Dale Earnhardt used to drive a scheme that used to look like this, guys. I can't remember what year he ran it, but it almost looks like it. I mean, it's not exactly like it, but it does look like it. It definitely has some resemblance, I will say that. You can easily mistake this car as the John's Throwback car, but it's not. But, wow, this is a really nice looking car, guys. I would recommend getting this as well. Even though I'm not the big Austin Dillon fan, I mean, this car, I mean, it's an American flag with wheels on it. I mean, how freaking cool is that? So, definitely would recommend getting this, especially, you know, if you guys just love the patriotic cars. All right, next up, we got Daniel Hemrick's number 8 Poppy Bank Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. So, I believe he did drove this car at Sonoma, if I'm not mistaken. Why did I got a bad feeling that's wrong? Dang, Brian, you should have done your research. Oh, well, that's what the comments are for. But, you know, I mean, not a really popular looking car, but, I mean, you know, it's cool to have some more orange diecast. I will do say that. Plus, might be a pretty cheap car to find now. I mean, once, you know, Black Friday hits probably, since as you guys know, I mean, Tyler Reddick will be taking over this probably next year, and Daniel Hemrick will be in the 8 car for the Xfinity Series next year with JR Motorsports. So, heck, I mean, might as well stock up on the Hemrick diecast while you can, guys, because it's pretty much a shame that, you know, a rookie in the Cup Series, the guy who is probably going to win the Rookie of the Year this year, is going to be debunked down into the Xfinity Series. So, I mean, I'll probably talk about more of that when we get to the 2020 pre-orders, when we get a Hemrick pre-order up, which we don't, ironically. So, just stay tuned for that in the next few episodes when we find out news about that. And I do apologize for the sniffling. It is starting to get a little cold out, so surprisingly I haven't lost my voice yet. Don't jinx it, Brian. Alright, next up we got some Johnson Throwback cars, and maybe might as well go and include all of these. Hopefully I won't get confused myself, but I mean, it's pretty appropriate to show all 3 of these and talk about them side by side. We got Eric Almirola's number 10 Smithfield Johnson Throwback, and I honestly can't believe that all these 3 diecasts I've shown you right here, which by the way are all Stuart Haas throwbacks, were all canceled in 1/64 scales, so I'm still baffled that happened, but maybe NASCAR Authentics will throw these in. But my God, guys, this is a cool looking car. I mean, of course, if you guys don't know already, this is a Johnson Throwback to one of the car owners for Stuart Haas Racing, the man himself, Smoke Tony Stewart, in his first championship, which was back in 2002. So
classic looking car. I mean, I love how Smithfield was trying to. How they incorporated this paint scheme. I know they couldn't change the font of their Smithfield logo like they did with Carl Edwards' Eris car from 2016. So, I mean, still really cool though. I do like this. This car really does pop out, and I'm just still dead ass shocked that this car got canceled in 1/64 scale, but definitely gonna be a cool car to catch the eyes, I can tell you that. And to go along with this one, we also got Clint Boyer's number 14 Rush Truck Center's Ford Mustang Don's Throwback, this is Tony Stewart's most recent and final championship in the Cup Series, which was 2011. Which, by the way, I will admit I was the hater of that championship. I mean, it was a good championship battle, but I just didn't like the outcome. I remember strictly that I flat out cursed on the TV and I told Smoke to F himself because you know me, I was the Edwards fan, so you know I was hurting. But everything comes full circle because, you know, Truex is now a champion. Well, could be a two-time, but don't want to jinx it. But anyways, in still off topic, I just have a lot of cool stuff to be talking about, but I just want to share my opinions for you guys. But back to this diecast, guys. Really nice looking. I mean, a lot of people are kind of criticizing that this car is not really a throwback, but I mean, 2011, guys, if you think about it, I mean, we're about to enter a new decade, so it is kind of old now. I mean, it's almost 10 years old. Almost. Not quite yet, but we're getting there, guys. So I guess it's kind of up there in the throwbacks. I mean, we've had some really recent throwbacks as well, like last year with Ty Dillon's Geico cars. So, I mean, who knows, guys? I mean, let's just face it, you know, we're getting fucking old. Or just time's going by way too fast. Am I right? But this diecast right here kicks ass. I do love it. I also love the addition of Mobile One staying to their true spot on the side like they did. It's a shame they couldn't get Office Depot on this car, but you know, that's just how the sponsorships work. But my god, they really nailed this car. And the last Stuart Haas throwback, of course, got spread some bad news with Daniel Suarez and the number 41 Haas Don's throwback car. Probably the only one he's ever going to have, since we know Daniel Suarez, worst kept secret at NASCAR, is not going to be racing for Storehouse Racing for next year, so that is a shame. But back to this diecast, guys. This is reflecting on Tony Stewart's 2005 championship, which, my god, I'll say it once, I say it again, the Ayers throwbacks are just amazing. I'm glad, well, this ain't really an Ayers throwback, guys. It's actually a Haas throwback, but I mean, I literally just got myself confused right there. I mean, a big missed opportunity for Ayers to not show up on this car, since, you know, their car is mostly that they're, you know, they usually are known for their orange colored cars. So it's surprising to see that Haas stepped in as sponsorship. But I mean they were still able to make the font look like the Home Depot logo, which, you know, I gotta admit, that looks really cool. Again, brings back the 2016 throwback with Carl Edwards. Ayers did a good job with that, so I'm guessing that's why they didn't want to do it again, because they already did in 2016. But as you guys know, Dan Schwartz and Ayers have like really good partnerships with them, so they like Schwartz a lot. That's where he gets that money from Ayers for the sponsorships. But yeah, you know, I definitely recommend getting this car as well, guys. I mean, all those Stuart Haas throwbacks that I just talked about, definitely must get. All right, halfway there, guys, with the 124 exclusives. Next up, as we're going to go back in order, we got Ryan Blaney's number 12 Pennzoil Don's throwback car. This one hurts. I mean, it's a shame that, you know, I mean, yeah, I believe we've had every single Ryan Blaney throwback that was released every year, except for this year, guys. And this one definitely surprised me, because a lot of people do like the Pennzoil schemes, but this one, especially for our boy Michael Waltrip, couldn't even get the love, because this is a throwback to Michael Waltrip's number 30 Pennzoil car that he drove in the 90s era. I can't talk today, but yeah, I mean, this is such a cool looking car, guys. It would go great. Now, I know I don't like comparing NASCAR to IndyCar, but if you put this car next to Elio Castroneves' I can't even pronunciate, oh my god. I know Race 2011's gonna bust my shit over that. Shout out to my good buddy Robbie Noonan. He's a cool motherfucker. This car will go great with Elio's Yellow Submarine Pennzoil IndyCar. I mean, probably the main reason why I want to get that's because just, you know, I love matching cars. I mean, that's probably the main reason why I'm a Ryan Blaney fan, because he drives the Menards car, and Simon Pageant drives the Menards car as well, so you can probably see that comparison right there. But yeah, solid looking car. I'm definitely going to be getting this car as well, along with with these other cars I'm about to show you quickly. But the next one up, we got some truck diecast, and might as well go ahead and show you guys these two right here. These were also canceled on the C4 scale, but they got made the 124 scale. And also, there's also liquid color variants available, but I don't really talk about liquid color variants on this show, so, or I mean special finishes. But here we go, we got Johnny Sauter's number 13 Tenda Heel truck. So really nice looking truck diecast that we got for Johnny Sauter. And cool to see him back at 13, even though he got eliminated in the playoffs, you know, oh so early. But, you know, that's the playoffs for you guys. I mean, there's always those surprises. I mean, a lot of people were picking him as a favorite for the championship, but clearly it's not. But another guy to talk about for the championship, and hopefully by the time I upload this video, we will see if Matt Crafton did or did not got his 3rd championship in the truck series. God forbid, hopefully I did not jinx him. But by the way, if you guys are wondering who I'm rooting for, I'm rooting for Stuart Friesen. I mean, because, you know, he goes to Oswego Speedway for Super Dirt Week, and, you know, gotta support those local guys. So, gotta go for Stuart Friesen for the championship. But this video will be uploaded on Sunday, so hopefully I don't jinx both those guys. Maybe Watermelon Man will get it done, or Mustache Man, Brett Moffitt. Anyways, it's gonna be a soft topic, guys, but the Matt Crafton number 88 Menards truck. I mean, same car that was released last year, but it's got the updated Ford F-150 body, so really nice looking. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Menards trucks, guys, am I right? Well, any of the Menards cars, I mean, just really nice looking diecast. And now we got to talk about Hailie Deegan's number 19 Monster Energy Las Vegas Dirt Canaan Pro Series race win. Oh boy, Hailie Deegan. And once again, this diecast was sold out along with her standard release that I didn't talk about the last episode of the Diecast News because I had so much to talk about. But, you know, if you love race version diecast, this is another great addition to go along. And this is also on the Gen 4 body as well, from what we see. So that is really cool, since I guess you could say that's a dirt mold body, I guess. But really cool that they made a dirt race win for the Canaan Pro Series. I'm hoping we can see more of these, but let's be honest, they only made this car because, you know, Hailie Deegan diecasts sell very well. And clearly it does. And this next one I'm about to show you is just about to be sold out as well. So luckily I got my ass on the pre-order system and got this bad boy, and I plan to review for you guys very soon. It is Mark Truck Jr.'s number 19 Bass Pro Shops Patriotic Coca-Cola 600 race win. My God, I mean, I know I'm not showing you guys the right picture, but on the other side of this diecast, on the passenger side, it's scraped up like hell, guys. I mean, this diecast looks amazing, and plus it's the first time we ever got a patriotic car for the Bass Pro Shops for the Bass Pro Shop sponsorship. I mean, I know we had one with the 78 car that was released last year, but at least it's a proper one. I mean, at least no logos are missing. Hint, hint, Wave 12. And at least it's on a right mold. I mean, could you imagine WLS mold on a 124? Oh, well, that's what NASCAR Authentics 124s are. Oh, hi caramba. But on a more positive note, guys, this diecast kicks ass, and plus, I mean, this will go great with the Simon Pagenaud Indy 500 win because, you know, these two of my guys got it done, guys. They got it done on the same exact day. So, I mean, that's a great feeling to have. My God, guys. I mean, this right here is just a great looking car. I mean, the Dover win is cool, but this one right here, especially for Truex' second 600 win, you gotta admit, that is cool. But I got a feeling his Daytona 500 win is going to come soon, guys. He's going to get one eventually. 2016 should have happened, but we'll just see what we got for 2020. I mean, anything is possible. And the last car to be talked about on the 124 exclusives, we got Bubba Wallace's number 43 Victory Junction Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. So, nice looking diecast we got going on right here. The Bubba Wall diecasts usually get canceled, but I mean, my God, guys, this is just freaking awesome. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up on all your diecasts that are released. And now we're going to do something a little different. Since we do have a lot of pre-orders to be talking about, I am just going to kick it back into the slideshow for the pre-orders, because I want to get this episode into the halfway. I want to get this episode in a very strictly timed manner. So enjoy the previous slideshow, and here are all the pre-orders that are available for 2019 and 2020. And I will catch you guys in a bit. Alrighty guys, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't review all those pre-orders, but Lionel's been stacking up the pre-orders like crazy, so, and plus I didn't really want to get too repetitive, but don't worry, we will be talking about all those cars that I just mentioned on the pre-order, guys, whether they get released on the Diecast releases or also on the cancellations. So that's probably the new setup I'm going to have, so that way I can make these videos a lot more shorter for you guys, so I do appreciate it. But now, time to get on to the turning point of this episode, which is the cancellations. So we got 7 new cancellations to be talking about, and I say a good 75% of them are Denny Hamlin diecast, guys. So, but might as well go and knock the other cars out of the way, and then we'll get on to the Hamlin diecast. But the first one up, we got to talk about AJ Allmendier's 2019 number 10 Digital Allies Charlotte Roval Xfinity race win. This was only offered in the 124 ARC scale. I mean, they don't make elites in the Xfinity cars, sadly. But, man, it would be really cool because, you know, Xfinity diecast should get the love too. But, you know, look at the truck diecast. They don't even have any opening functions. But, hey, at least we get an opening hood, am I right? But not in this case, guys. I mean, it's a shame that a calling diecast day got canceled. Or calling, whatever the hell you call it. I mean, and, you know, it's a shame for AJ Allmendier because, you know, he usually... I mean, he's had a lot of bad luck lately trying to, you know, get a win in the Xfinity Series, but not this time. He finally got it done at the Charlotte Roval, and this time he did not got disqualified for it. So that's awesome compared to him finishing third / not finishing third at the Daytona night race, where it was, you know, all of his teammates were 1, 2, 3 except for him. So yeah, but I mean, that the bad luck continues right there as Charlotte Roval Xfinity race win has been canceled. Next up, like I mentioned, with how Bubba Wallace diecasts are getting canceled, well, here's another one, guys. We got his number 43 Lathe Cars.com Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 for Richard Petty Motorsports. This car has been canceled in every single scale, so 124 Elite, 164 scale, and 124 ARC. So this car will not be offered in any way, shape, or form unless NASCAR Authentics pulls off a groovy one and gets it done in one of the new waves, but highly doubt it. Maybe it might be a early release for 2020, but I highly doubt it. This would be a really big surprise if they do. But my guess, probably the Victory Junction would be their best bet. But, you know, this diecast doesn't really scream anything crazy. I mean, there's nothing really unique about this car. I believe that this sponsorship, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the sponsorship was with Front Row Motorsports, so I find it funny that they kind of allegedly took that sponsorship, but, you know, that's how business goes. That's how, you know, the racing business goes. I mean, but even though Bubba Wallace really hasn't really shown the results, but I don't know, guys. And the final one to be talked about once we get to the, and then we'll talk about, you know, one-year championship picks, Denny Hamlin. We got Alex Bowman's 2019 number 88 Cincinnati Incorporated Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 has been canceled at every single scale. But don't worry, guys, his 2020 pre-order is also available, but with our luck, who knows, that might get canceled too. But it literally just got announced today. I'm doing this video on Friday, so yeah, I'm recording this video on Friday and I'll upload it for you guys on Sunday, so now you know my secret system of how things go here on the Diecast News. But yeah, the Cincinnati Incorporated car, guys, this was a very random pre-order, but this was a new sponsorship that is technically taken over for Nationwide. I mean, there's still a lot of gaps with the Nationwide sponsorship leaving. I mean, I guess we're going to see a lot of Henrik Autoguard sponsorship, not only with William Byron, but for Alex Bowman next year. I mean, that's practically an unsponsored car, so... But this right here will fill in a few gaps since, as you guys know, long story short, Nationwide is leaving. Their NASCAR is leaving at the end of the season for their NASCAR sponsorship with Alex Bowman and Henry Motorsports. So, but unfortunately, this diecast did not really cut the cake for anybody since it got canceled at every single scale. And now it's time to talk about these next 4 pre-orders, guys. And it's one-year championship picks, guys. Now, Denny Hamlin has been really good this season, and as much as I want Truex to win this championship, if Denny Hamlin can pull it off, I mean, I tell you what, man, he deserves it, because this guy cannot catch a break. Besides the Daytona 500 win diecast getting made, most of his diecasts have been canceled, especially on the pre-orders, guys. And this right here, I'm honestly not surprised, and this is the main reason why Lionel doesn't offer any more race wins for Denny Hamlin. Hence why you don't see the Phoenix race win up for pre-order. But we got to talk about Denny Hamlin's number 11 FedEx Office Kansas race win. This diecast has been officially canceled in both 124 scales. So, and this car was not offered in the 164 scale. It was not offered in the 164 scale. So, 124 ARC and Elite have been canceled. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, if you guys are a big fan of Denny Hamlin and the FedEx sponsorship, yeah, it's been bad this year. I mean, if you want to talk about the guy, I mean, it would be kind of hilarious if Denny Hamlin wins the championship. I mean, watch, with our luck, Denny Hamlin's going to win the championship by the time I upload this video. And a few months from now, his championship diecast will get canceled. If that happens, then I feel so bad for the Hamlin fans. But we never had a championship diecast ever got canceled before, so, you know, never say never. Unless they put that stupid Monster Energy logo on top of the car, which they will. They usually always do that. Unless Hamlin wins the Homestead race, but that probably get canceled too. And to further prove my point, we got some more 2020 pre-orders that have been canceled. And guess what? It is all Denny Hamlin. We got his FedEx Fright card that has only been canceled in the 124 Elite. So we will be getting his Fright card, guys, in the 124 ARC and the 164 scale. But for the Elite collectors, you guys are pretty much shit out of luck because this car has been canceled. But for anybody who are big fans of, well, I can't really say big fans, but his FedEx ground car and his FedEx office cars have been canceled entirely. They have been canceled in every single scale. 124 Elite, 164, and 124 ARC. So, not a big surprise right there. It's kind of like what just happened this year with most of his diecasts getting canceled. So, and feel free to comment below, guys. I mean, feel free to comment below. I mean, who are your guys' pick to win tonight's race? I'm hoping to upload this video before the championship race. And yeah, go Truex. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video of the NASCAR Diecast news as I'm wrapping up the cancellations and this show entirely. This ain't the last episode of the Diecast news for season 9. We still got probably a few more weeks left, and we'll be ending the season with all the 2019 diecasts that have been released for this year. So, you know, look forward to that every December 31st, and we'll kick things off with Season 10 of the Diecast News when things go on for next year, guys. But until then, guys, this has been OBB, the Diecast News guy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and even though the NASCAR season is over, continue watching Season 9 of the Diecast News, and yeah, I'll get my ass on it right now, guys. So, this has been OBB, and I will see you guys on the next episode of NASCAR Diecast News.